Vader stared at the burning ship. There was death at play, suffering and fear. Yes, something entirely different. Something that repelled his withered, agonized flesh.
Prepare a boarding party.
Yes, my lord. The destruction of the Citadel, the lancing of Scarif with the Death Star's super laser, the evaporation of a sea, and the disintegration of Archipelagos sent a tremor through Vader's shuttle as Vader and his squad rode to the flagship. Vader felt fear then, too, vast and powerful, and purer than that which emanated from the cruiser. When his vessel reached the flagship and his stormtroopers burned their way through the hull, he started toward the rebel bridge and then pivoted. Perhaps instinct guided him, perhaps something more. It did not occur to him to wonder. He sent his troops to continue on his prior path and moved on, alone. The corridor lights flickered while alarms blared. Trapped in the blood-red chamber of his helmet, Vader was troubled by neither. He attuned himself to emanations of panic and desperation and followed their trail. When he encountered rebels reaching for their blasters or dashing to sea blast doors, he drew his weapon and cut them down with unhurried strokes of his crimson blade. The voice of a stormtrooper spoke to him through his comlink.
A data tape was recorded on the bridge just before we boarded. No sign of it here.
Vader did not answer, but he bolstered his pace. He wound through the cruiser, leaving corpses behind him. He found his prey at last in a corridor thick with rebels backed against a security door. As particle bolts shot towards him, he watched a data tape pass between desperate soldiers. He knocked the bolts aside with his blade, tore a blaster from one foe with a might that defied nature and gravity, and marched on. He delivered killing stroke after killing stroke, awakened and relentless. The security door opened a mere crack, and rebel hands shoved the tape through. Vader reached through life and matter and air, and by will alone he pulled. He fueled his will with rage and fear and need. It was enough to tear the rebel from the door and drop him at Vader's feet, but it was not enough to claim the tape. He grasped the rebel sprawled before him by the throat, lifted him and stared at him through bloody lenses.
Where
Vader demanded.
are they taking it?
The reply was a strangled whisper. Away from here, the rebel said. Away from you. Vader clenched his gloved hand until the man's neck snapped. Then he tossed the body aside. He activated his comlink and barked to his stormtroopers.
Find their escape vessel.
The prospect of failure crept over his skin like fire. The supremacy of the Death Star could not be jeopardized. The total obliteration of the rebellion remained possible. That it was in question at all was unthinkable. Darth Vader chased his quarry, seeking solace in the final triumph of the Emperor.